When the law gives up and the trail goes cold, folks in Arizona turn to one man, Logan. And this one started with a knock. One quiet evening, as night settled in like a cat padding across soft earth, the stillness of Logan's ranch was profound. It was the kind of solitude he had grown used to, almost cherished. Then, a sound. A soft, almost hesitant tapping at his door. No one ever just knocks, not out here in the vast quiet of Arizona. Expecting an animal, perhaps the wind playing tricks, Logan opened his door. What he found was unexpected. A wisp of a girl no older than 6, with eyes like emeralds, green as the spring grass after a rare rain. Streaks of dirt and tears marred her small face. Her clothes, ragged and too big for her, spoke of a long, hard journey. And then she spoke. A tiny voice, barely a whisper, a name that stirred a forgotten echo in Logan's mind. Logan Uncle. Her name was Lily, a faint echo from a past Logan rarely thought about, and the story she unfolded, told in halting, broken whispers, it was one no child should ever have to tell, words laced with the memory of terror and hardship. Her mother was gravely sick, too weak to even get out of a crude bed. Her father, Lily wasn't sure, just gone. And every day, she said, a man, a shadow, he would come. He'd torment her mother, his voice a low growl, demanding money they didn't have, taking what little they possessed. Her mother's jewelry, simple pieces but all they had, gone. He'd threaten, promise more trouble. Lily had walked for hours, alone, through the gathering dusk, driven by a desperate mother's last fading hope, seeking Logan's help. After hearing her harrowing tale, Logan knew he had to act fast. With Lily safely tucked in a makeshift bed, Logan wasted no time. The desert was his home, and he knew what it demanded of him. He wasn't just a rancher, he was a tracker, a protector. Every item he carefully selected for his journey was a testament to his methodical nature and his deep understanding of survival and justice in the unforgiving frontier. A child's tear was a summons he would always answer. The journey to Lily's home was long, arduous, and fraught with the familiar challenges of the Arizona Badlands. Logan rode under a relentless sun, the vast emptiness stretching out before him, a stark reminder of the isolation faced by those living on the fringes. This wasn't just a ride, it was a deepening of Logan's resolve, a silent vow to bring justice to this forgotten corner of the world. After hours of hard riding, Logan finally arrived at the forgotten mining settlement. It was a place where hopes and dreams had long since died. Lily's home stood out even amongst the decay, a testament to sheer desperation. Inside, the reality was stark and heartbreaking. Lily's mother was barely clinging to life, a tragic victim of illness and relentless torment. The scene solidified Logan's resolve. This was no ordinary crime, but a profound human tragedy demanding his full attention. This wasn't just a simple thief, taking what he could. The systematic nature of the demands, the way he kept coming back, even after taking their few possessions, it smelled of something far more calculated, more personal. Logan's methodical approach began around the shack. He knew every print, every disturbed stone held a piece of the puzzle. This man had left his mark, and Logan intended to follow it, no matter how faint. The distinct boot prints provided Logan with a clear direction, but the journey was slow, across terrain that seemed to swallow tracks. Then, a small, overlooked detail from the shack, a unique cigar butt, provided a secondary clue. It pointed him towards the abandoned mine shafts, a labyrinth of forgotten dreams and dangers where the very air seemed to whisper old secrets. This wasn't just about the footprints, it was about the man who made them and what he valued. Entering the mine shaft was like stepping into a cold, silent tomb. The air grew heavy and the darkness pressed in. Logan moved with caution, his senses heightened, his hand never far from his Colt. The mine wasn't just a hideout. It held a grim secret, and a sign of a struggle that revealed the true malice of the man he was hunting. This was where Lily's father's fate had been sealed. Deep within the shadowed labyrinth, a seemingly ordinary pile of rocks held the key. Logan, with his sharp eye for the unnatural, sensed it immediately. The careful concealment spoke not of abandonment, but of a deliberate secret. The truth, buried deep, was about to be unearthed. Piece by painstaking piece, revealing the villain's ultimate motive. Prying open the crate, Logan didn't find gold. What he found was far more telling and far more damning. Inside were old mining documents, intricate maps of this very canyon, and a worn, leather journal, Lily's father's journal. He hadn't just vanished. He had discovered something, a rich pocket of rare ore, hidden deep in the mine. Not gold, but something just as valuable. He mapped it, documented it, planned to use it to save his family from poverty. But someone else found out, and that someone made sure he never had the chance. Finch hadn't been chasing money, he'd been chasing that claim. And to cover his tracks, he silenced the man who found it. The journal told a tragic story, a desperate father's final hope in the cold greed that got him killed. Among the pages, Logan found a small locket, still bearing the photo of Lily as a child, a quiet, heartbreaking reminder of what that man died trying to protect. Now, Logan saw the truth clear as day. Finch didn't just steal, he murdered. With the full truth now exposed, Logan knew his next step. Find Thomas Finch. The unique boot prints, the specific cigar, and the chilling story from the journal provided a clear trail. Finch was still lurking, believing his secret was safe. But Logan, a shadow in the desert himself, was now the hunter. He would bring justice for Lily and her mother. Logan moved in for the confrontation, a silent force of justice. Finch, cornered and desperate, lashed out with the savagery of a cornered rat. But Logan was a master of the frontier, his movements precise, his will unwavering. The fight was swift, decisive, and when it was over, Thomas Finch, the shadow who had tormented a family, was finally brought to his knees. With Thomas Finch subdued, the raw tension of the confrontation slowly bled into the quiet hum of the desert. The dust settled, but for Logan the work was far from over. Justice often demanded more than just a capture. The immediate task was to ensure Finch wouldn't trouble anyone again, a necessary step before Logan could turn his full attention to the fragile life still hanging by a thread back at the desolate shack. Every moment counted. Back at the shack, the dim light and heavy silence spoke volumes. Logan arrived to find Lily's mother fading. This was the true aftermath of Finch's cruelty. Not just stolen trinkets, but a life brought to the brink. Logan's hands, accustomed to the raw demands of the frontier, now moved with a surprising delicacy, fighting against the relentless grip of illness. He was racing against time, a solitary healer in a desolate place, driven by a silent promise. With grim determination, Logan began his fight against the illness. His actions were deliberate, born of experience and a deep sense of responsibility. He wasn't just administering medicine, he was offering a lifeline, coaxing breath and strength back into a body ravaged by hardship. It was a silent vigil, marked by the soft glow of the fire and Logan's unwavering resolve, a testament to the quiet power of care in a harsh land. Time has passed, marked by the gradual deepening of color in the sky from dawn to dusk and the subtle changes in the landscape outside the shack. Weeks, then months, have turned the calendar pages, bringing a slow, steady improvement. The once desolate dwelling has undergone a profound transformation, evident in every meticulous detail. The door now hangs squarely and securely on strong new hinges, a stark contrast to its previous precarious angle. The broken windows are fully repaired, some even adorned with simple, cheerful curtains made from patched remnants of fabric, allowing sunlight to stream in and warm the interior, chasing away the shadows. Outside, the dusty, barren earth around the shack has given way to a small, thriving vegetable patch, carefully tended. Rows of vibrant green sprouts push through the dark soil, promising sustenance, and a few small, plump tomatoes might be visible, ripening in the sun. A few happy chickens cluck contentedly as they peck in the dust nearby, their soft sounds adding a touch of domesticity and life. A small, freshly painted wooden sign, perhaps reading "Lily's Hearth" or "Desert Blooms" in charming, slightly uneven letters, now stands near the door, signifying a burgeoning enterprise, a humble but proud symbol of their renewed hope. Lily's mother, no longer pale and gaunt, now stands tall and strong, her frame having visibly regained its vitality. A genuine, joyful smile graces her lips, and her eyes, once hollow, now sparkle with newfound health and resilience. She is tending to a small new vegetable stand or simple craft station just outside the shack, her hands deftly arranging small bundles of fragrant dried herbs or brightly colored, simply woven goods. She engages cheerfully with a friendly passerby, perhaps a local trader on horseback, or a nearby rancher in a wagon, her voice clear and resonant, a marked difference from her previous raspy whispers. She offers a warm, inviting smile, a picture of quiet strength. It was a slow, arduous process, demanding patience and persistent care, like coaxing life from barren ground. Yet with each mended window, each thriving sprout in the garden, and each rekindled spark of hope in their eyes, a new life blossomed from the dust of despair. Logan became a silent guardian, a steady shadow of support, watching a fragile new beginning take root and flourish in the harsh, beautiful land. The sun dipped low, painting the Arizona sky with colors only the desert knows. For Lily and her mother, a new chapter had truly begun, built on strength and the quiet support of a man who asked for nothing in return. Logan watched from afar, as he always would. His name might not be whispered in the halls of justice, but in the vast, unforgiving expanse of the frontier, where shadows lingered and hope was fragile, his presence was a promise. A promise that some trails, some lives, would never be left cold. If this story meant something to you, drop a comment below. We read every one. And if you're new to this trail, subscribe to Logan Western Detective for more grounded Western tales. Mysteries, justice, and the kind of truth only the frontier can show. We'll see you next time, partner. Stay sharp, stay kind, and never forget some trails ain't meant to be walked alone.